This is a USB mic, and I have to say, I'm pretty impressed with how far USB mics have come. But not this one. To start, this mic was provided by Joby, but they didn't pay me to say anything, and they're not going to see this review before you guys do. I'll be honest, my only knowledge of Joby prior to making this video is they're the company that makes the Gorilla Pod. Like, it's possibly the most loved and hated tripod on the internet. Now, this is their shot at making a USB mic. This is the Wavo Pod mic. So we'll talk about what I like about it, and then I'm going to be honest and tell you why you really shouldn't buy this mic. And of course, the entire video will be recorded using the audio from this mic. Now first, I do like the design. I think it looks pretty cool and very minimal altogether. There's only one knob on the front that controls all the audio. It kind of makes me think that they took like the Blue Yeti and just kind of overhauled it completely to make it a more modern design. They included a pop filter with it, and it comes off super easy. And it has a very simple setup and, as I mentioned, controls. The mic itself is literally just plug and play. It works on Windows, PC. I've even used it on my iPad, my iPhone. Works with everything. And then for controls, it just has that one knob on the front that controls like the headset volume and the mic gain, as well as a button on the front where you can change it from a super cardioid to an omnidirectional pattern. Now, as far as the controls go, it's also going to be a pretty big negative, but we'll get into that here in just a little bit. It also comes with two USB cables. One's a USB-C to C cable, and then the other one is a really long USB-C to A cable. Now, for some reason, they did make the C to C cable shorter than the C to A cable. I don't really know why, but it's just nice that they included both of them. Lastly is the stand that comes with it. A lot of companies overlook this part, but the base on this stand is super freaking heavy. So that's probably the nicest thing I have to say about this mic. Now, let's go ahead and open up the can of worms. Is everything wrong with this mic and why you really probably shouldn't buy this? First, let's talk about this knob on the front right here. It's pretty nice that they kept it clean and it only has that one knob, but that knob controls the audio for the mic gain and for the headset, and every time you unplug it and replug it, or just your source like your computer turns off and turns back on, the mic resets back to the headset volume. Now for some, they may actually like that. If you use the headphone port on USB mics, then that'll probably be a benefit to you. I don't, I'm not a fan of it, and so it's just really annoying that I have to push and hold this little button on the front each time I want to get back to the mic gain settings. Speaking of the mic gain, it is incredibly sensitive. So what I found when using this mic, and it doesn't matter if I use it on my iPad, on my Mac, or my PC, I have to keep the gain at its very minimum. I can't turn the gain up at all, or it instantly becomes distorted. I'll give you a sound test real quick. So this is how the mic has sounded so far. Gain all the way down. Now let me just slowly crank the gain up and see if it gets all crackly and distorted. It probably will. I don't honestly know until I listen back to this, but I'm going to assume that it does. So what I do is I keep the gain as very minimum, and then on my computer or whatever software I'm using, that's when I adjust the volume of the mic. Now let's talk about this pop filter they included. It's pretty nice, like I'm glad they included it, but it only connects on this one point here on the back, so it's incredibly springy. Like if you even slightly touch it, it springs through and it just completely ruins the audio. It sounds like crap. Especially if you're using this on a boom arm and you don't have a shock mount, every bit of vibration through your desk, and if you touch the boom arm or anything like that, it's all gonna come through that pop filter, and it's god awful. As far as the off-axis rejection goes, it's probably some of the worst I've ever heard in a USB mic. Now this is in its cardioid pattern, so it should be blocking out as much sound as possible from behind it. So this is the off-axis rejection of this mic with the cardioid pattern, and my keyboard has Gateron reds. Here's with the WASD keys, spacebar, so basically, whether you're in the cardioid or the omnidirectional pattern, it doesn't matter. It picks up everything just about the same. It has horrible rejection. Now, lastly for this mic, now this is going to be more centered around me and just my taste. This mic does not sound good with my voice. Firstly, with how it handles S's. Now, I do emphasize my S's pretty heavy, but this mic really emphasizes them, makes it really bad. Now, for this recording, for the most part, you've been hearing it as I kind of adjusted and tweaked the audio and EQ'd it a little bit, but let me just go ahead and let you hear how it sounds, just no EQ, no effects or anything like that applied. It's not very good, and it's definitely not pleasing, at least for my type of voice. But this is kind of the tricky part when it comes to recommending a mic for somebody, is everybody's voice sounds different. So I can't really say that this mic is going to sound terrible for everybody's voice, but if you have a voice that sounds like mine, or like Patrick Mahomes, or Danny McBride, then yeah, this mic isn't going to be for you. Okay, so enough trashing on the mic for just a little bit. Let's go ahead and talk about this boom arm here behind me. Now this does come in a package of about $200, I believe, but you can get the boom arm separately for $99, and for that one right there, I'm going to say it's for sure worth it. Now, obviously, there are much cheaper options out there for boom arms, but I say this really heavily competes with the version that Blue has. First, it comes with loads of accessories. Also, it's super rigid and holds its position extremely well. And then, just like most of the high-end microphone boom arms, it has a spot to hide your cables. And then my favorite feature for it, which I honestly, when I got it, I was like, this is gonna be kind of stupid. I'll probably never use this, but now I'm finding myself using it like crazy, is the removable cup holder and headset stand. Now, like I said, when I first got this, I didn't think I was gonna use that at all, and I was planning on just taking it off, but I decided to leave it on there, and I found myself all the time putting my cups on it, keeps them completely off my desk, and then when I'm finished using my headset, I just hang it on the holder. And they even include a little silicone grip to keep your desk safe, which is nice because I have a wooden desktop right here and I don't like it to get damaged. Now let's go back to the mic. The Joby Wavo Pod is quite honestly just a decent mic at best. But for all the areas that it falls short in, it just makes it a impossible mic to recommend at $99. Especially when you consider for that price, you just have loads and loads of better options out there. First, you have the Samson Q2U that comes in around $79. It's an XLR mic that sounds fantastic, it's dynamic. Then you have the Rode NT USB Mini for $99, which sounds way better than this mic right here, and it comes with some incredibly good software for podcasters. Or you could even just spend $50 more and get the Elgato Wave3 mic, which is possibly one of the best USB mics out there, period, especially when it comes to streamers because it has some god tier software. And that's probably my biggest gripe with this mic right here. They're charging $99 and it's just a decent USB mic, and there's nothing crazy about it, and they didn't make any software for it at all. So for streamers, this mic is just kind of useless because there's already better options on the market. And then for podcasters, it doesn't even sound that good, and podcasting is all about audio. So hopefully Joby can maybe someday do like a Wavo Pod 2, just really take to heart what they need to change about this mic, study the market, figure out what makes some of the best USB mics great, and apply that to this. I do feel like they're super close to hitting something really good here. Anyways guys, the links for everything will be down in the description below, and thanks for watching. Bye-bye.